You guys know how the Nigerian market is. There's a lot of dust, and the Harmattan season has more dust. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, I am back with another video. So yesterday I asked you guys what type of content you would like to see, and a lot of you guys went for how to take care of your hair during the Harmattan season. Here were the two options, and I was really glad that you actually went for that one because it has actually been on my mind to make that video since we are currently in the Harmattan season. In case you're watching and you're confused about what the Harmattan season is, this is actually a dry season in West Africa. It usually occurs around November to mid-March. This season is characterized majorly by the haze. There's usually a lot of haze during this time, and then it's also really dry. The weather is windy, it's dusty, and a lot of things are prone to dryness, be it your hair, your skin, your lips, your clothes. Yes, and one of my favorite things about this season is the fact that when you wash your clothes, they are definitely going to dry that day. There's nothing like I'm leaving it outside, I'll come and get it the next day. If your clothes does not dry, that means maybe that particular material is really thick, and even at that it actually dries and it just a little bit left. And for me, this is my favorite season. Another thing I forgot to mention is that during this time it's also cold, but I don't know if it's due to the global warming that we're experiencing these days, due to the whole climate change issues that we're having, but I don't usually feel cold because I remember like a few years back when I was still in like secondary school, then during this time I'll always have my sweater on, like it's actually cold, but these days I don't really experience that, and I think that is due to climate change. So let's get into our video proper, and the big question is, how do you take care of your hair during this time? And we all know that our hair is in a really vulnerable state because it's prone to dryness during this time. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on how to care for your hair properly, and coming up at number one is moisturizing is key. But first, I want you to know that the sebaceous glands on your scalp naturally produces oil known as sebum to help lubricate your hair strands, but most times this cannot be effective due to some genetic condition or maybe age. And then also the hair type and length of your hair can actually prevent that oil from getting to your hair strands, which is why it's important to take some extra measures to make sure that you moisturize your hair and prevent it from getting dry. I have spoken about moisturizing the hair so many times on my channel, and if you still don't know how to do that, I have a video that is specially made for that, and I'm going to link it up in the description. So during this season, you want to make sure that you're moisturizing your hair by hydrating with water, moisturizing with a leave-in conditioner, and sealing in with butter and oil. Yes, I said butter and oil because you have to go the extra mile during this season. So when you are done hydrating with water, moisturizing with your leave-in conditioner, you then seal in with butter and then you seal in with your oil. You also want to make sure that you are not combing your hair dry. This is why we always say moisturize your hair or hydrate your hair before detangling it. It's really important because if you comb your hair dry, it's going to cause your hair to break off, and I promise you don't want that. So when you hydrate your hair with water and apply leave-in conditioner, then you can go ahead and comb your hair to ensure that that product is evenly distributed on your hair, and then go ahead to seal in with your butter and oil. I would like to sound a warning because sometimes we like to overdo things. Just because we're in the dry season does not mean you will go ahead and over moisturize your hair. I've explained this in one of my videos. There are consequences to this, and when you over moisturize your hair, it can lead to moisture overload, thereby causing your hair to be weak, and when your hair gets weak, you are still going to experience breakage. So let's try as much as possible not to overdo it. It's actually advisable to moisturize your hair 2 times a week, and then sometimes when I like do 2 times a week and I feel that my hair is actually dry, I'll just spray a little water and then go in with butter. I don't usually bother going in with a leave-in conditioner. I just hydrate with a little bit of water and then go in with butter, and that is it. Coming up at number 2 is leave your hair alone. Yes, you heard me. Those of you that like to overcomb your hair, overstyle your hair, and you know, all that over manipulation is going to affect your hair during this period of time. This season more than ever is a time that you're supposed to leave your hair alone as much as possible, because you don't want to keep tugging at your hair in the name of styling and in the name of combing every single time. At the end of the day, you're just going to end up breaking off your hair, and then you will also not be able to retain length. So try as much as possible to avoid overstyling and also overcombing your hair during the Harmattan season. At number 3 is protective styling. Protective styling usually helps us to retain length, so it's really important for you to style your hair protective style, actually, emphasis on that. Do not go and do any tight hairstyles that are going to cause your hair to break off or cause your edges to go bald. That is not what I said. Examples of protective styling is mini twist. You can actually add extensions like kinky or any other spring twist that you have. That is perfectly fine. And why is in a protective style, you can actually still moisturize. I think it's easier to moisturize your hair when it's in like twist or mini braids. Just make sure that you put your hair in a protective style. That way it's going to prevent you from trying to overstyle and overcomb your hair every single time, and you are easily going to be able to retain length. Coming up at number 4 is to avoid excessive use of heat. This applies to blow dryers, to coiling irons, and to straighteners, because what heat does to our hair is that it helps to, dry out the moisture, which is the water from your hair. Make sure that you're cutting down on heat to prevent your hair from getting too dry. But at the same time, it's also not advisable to keep your hair wet or go to bed with a wet hair. So if you want to like blow out your hair, try as much as possible to blow it out on low heat. Yes, that is the best way to do this, because we actually need these blow dryers sometimes, since we cannot go to bed with our hair wet. So just make sure you're blowing out your hair on low heat to avoid your hair from getting too dry and thereby leading to breakage. Coming up at number 5 is to protect from the harsh weather. So we all know that the Harmattan season is very harsh, and not just the Harmattan season, Nigerian weather in general is harsh. So when I'm going out, I take extra measures like tying my hair with a scarf, because I don't want my hair to like be under the sunlight for too long. It's going to lead to extreme dryness. And also I do that to prevent all those market dust. You guys know how the Nigerian market is. There's a lot of dust, so to prevent that from settling on my hair and making my hair very dirty and itchy, I always tie my scarf. And the Harmattan season has more dust, so when you are going out, just make sure to tie your hair with a scarf to prevent it from dust and excessive sunlight. Coming up at number 6 is to avoid overwashing. I've already spoken about this in a couple of my other videos. As I earlier explained in this video, I said your scalp, your sebaceous gland, that is your oil glands on your scalp, naturally produces oil that helps to lubricate your hair strands. So you want to make sure you're not overwashing your hair, because overwashing your hair is going to lead your hair to dryness. And the reason for this is that the shampoo is going to strip your hair so much of the natural oils that your sebaceous glands are producing. So try as much as possible to avoid overwashing your hair, thereby preventing dryness and also preventing breakage. Last but not the least is to go to bed with your satin bonnet or satin pillowcase or a satin scarf. Most of our bed sheets are not satin materials. They are actually cotton materials, and they are good absorbents of moisture or water. So when you go to bed without your scarf or your satin pillowcase or your satin bonnet, this is going to cause your hair to get very dry. So you want to make sure you are doing this to prevent your hair from extra dryness, and as usual, all this dryness can lead to breakage. And by going to bed with your satin pillowcase or satin scarf, you are making sure that you are preventing your hair from dryness and breakage. So guys, we have come to the end of this video. Thank you for sticking around. On this channel, we do everything surrounding natural hair. We also create makeup content and lifestyle content. So if that sounds like what interests you, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that you are notified whenever I put out a new video. Thank you for staying to the end of my video, and I'll see you guys in the next. Okay, bye.